This is your untouched camera, sitting on a shelf gaining dust because you're not using it until you get that new piece of gear for it. This is the project file for your latest movie that you haven't opened yet since you imported the footage a week ago. This is the first and last page of your script. This is the art project you were gonna start, but the weather is just not, I don't have the correct tool. It's just not the right time to start today, okay? This is the fresh idea in your brain and it's getting moldier each day. This is procrastination and you are damn good at it, but so am I. And over the past few weeks, I've started putting things into place and getting stuff done and completing multiple projects by using a few methods in my head. The first thing is just write 200 stupid words. I know that sounds weird. I actually heard this on a podcast when it comes to writing, but I think it applies to video and all forms of art. It basically means just to start with zero expectations. So for writing projects, for example, the book that I wrote last year, that's around 150 pages, we're still working on it, but how I started it was every morning when I got into the writing platform, I didn't actually write the book. I actually started by doing either a journal entry or just like my random thoughts on a page. And what ends up happening is you start to just create greatness, but you're starting with zero expectations. And I think expectation is the enemy of success just as much as procrastination is. And I think the two actually fall under the same category. So if you start with zero expectations, you're going to get way more out of it. So if it's a video project, start shooting for the first 20 minutes and then get into doing some good stuff. Or if it's an editing project and you're working in Premiere Pro, start with just placing stuff together and you'll be amazed by what actually ends up coming out of having zero expectations and starting with actually something stupid. The next thing I want to bring up is the 5-hour rule, which means from the point of doing the 200 stupid words, put 5 hours of work in. 5 hours is a little bit less than the regular work day, and if you can put that into your own thing that you're working on, look at how much you could probably get done in that time frame. And if that seems a little too daunting, a little bit too much to put into something that you keep putting off, put in 3 hours, and if that also still seems a little too much, remember that the average American spends about 3 hours a day on social media alone. So, I mean, if you can put 3 hours into your phone going on social media, imagine what you could do on your passion project. One of the number one things that most successful people do to get stuff done, God, this feels like one of those like infomercial things where the guy's like, hey, what's up? I'm in my garage, listen next to my Lamborghini. One of the biggest things that a lot of successful people do is they write stuff down and they make themselves accountable. So how do you do that? Well, for me, I'm super loyal to my to-do list. So if I write down on my to-do list that I'm doing this one thing at this time on this date, I'm 100% doing it. And there's some sort of stat that says that if you put in if you write stuff down, you're 40% higher of it. There's a 40% higher chance that you're going to actually get it done. And then the other thing is if you tell someone, you're about like 50% higher to get that thing done. You're 50% higher. By just writing it down and telling someone, you're 90% more likely to get that thing done. And if you don't believe me, think about going to your 9-to-5 job or working for someone. You're accountable to them to get that thing completed. So just put in the practices that you would do for working for someone, but do that for yourself, and you're guaranteed to get that done. Make yourself accountable by writing it down and telling someone that you're gonna get it done by these dates, and I promise you, you will be much more likely to get that thing you're procrastinating completed. My next point, expectation is the thief of completion. It is also the thief of satisfaction. I have had so many projects, one in particular, which is the documentary that I'm working on right now called Unity, where I expected to edit that film and get that film to a level of Oscar-worthy prestige. But the more I thought about how good it was going to be, the less I was going to do it. So the more I expected of it, the less was actually getting done. So I was getting unsatisfied, robbing myself of the joy of actually just letting it be the thing that it was going to be, and more or less just putting it to a caliber that was very unrealistic for myself to achieve. But as soon as I switched that mindset and I stopped thinking this is going to be the next best movie of all time, the better it actually ended up becoming. So let's say it's the script you're working on, the movie you're about to shoot, or the edit that you're making. Don't expect it to be anything that it's not yet, which it's nothing. If you're just beginning, it can't be anything. And allow that process to happen And guess what? It is gonna become something super duper cool. And the final thing I want to talk about is authenticity. Making sure that the project that you're actually tackling, you are authentic to and you are actually interested in. This relates to the last point about expectations, but if you're creating a project that you expect yourself to do because it's what everybody else is doing, but it's not actually aligned with your interests, you're not gonna want to do it. But if you're working on something that is experimenting with something new, you're actually stoked about, you're actually excited about, you're going to be more likely to complete it and actually start it in the first place. There are so many things that I started doing because I thought that's what everybody else was doing. So I'm like, well, I might as well start doing this thing. And I ended up not getting it done. So do something that you're actually genuinely, authentically excited about, and I guarantee its completion will be way easier. And to eliminate the idea of getting it done to a certain degree will help that completion way better. And the whole reason why I'm talking about all this stuff and the whole reason why I thought about doing this video in the first place is because I know this channel, this thing that I've created has not been getting a whole lot of attention because I have been procrastinating a whole heck of a lot. But over the past few weeks, I've been applying these steps that I've been talking about in this video, and immediately I got a whole chunk of videos done, including the one you're watching right now. And the things that I was going to talk about at the end of this video, I was kind of lining it all up for this, is the things that I'm so stoked to share with you guys and how I got all these things done. Within the last few weeks, I've been able to finish 2 episodes of this new show that I'm going to be starting on this channel alone called Islanders, which is the whole journey of getting to this place, leaving from Texas and coming to a strange island in the middle of nowhere, and how we ended up doing that, crossing the states during a pandemic. So that'll be a new series that starts on this channel. If you guys want to watch that or are stoked about it, you can follow this place and you'll see all of that. I've also finished up a horror short film that I've been so stoked about. It's an entire short film that's a silent film, which I've never done before. So I'm very excited about that. It's silent, but there's sound effects. Here's a little quick clip. So that's coming out, dropping that soon. And then finally, the project that I'm sure a lot of folks have been curious about, which is Unity, that documentary will be coming out very soon. And that was sort of the whole basis of this video, which that's been a film that I've been procrastinating constantly because of this bar of expectation for it to hit. I've been continually putting it off because I want it to be so good. I want it to be Oscar worthy, and I want it to be as good as the submissions that I was getting for it. But the more I created that level of expectation, the greater I was being hindered to get it completed. So instead, I'm lowering the bar of expectation. Myself and my co-editor on the project, Gina Simone, have been working away on it, and I'm so excited for you guys to see that. I'll be releasing a trailer for that as well very soon. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning into this, and hopefully these steps, these tools can help you guys get way better at completing stuff and eliminate that procrastination. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in another video. Hopefully you have a lovely day, and stay tuned to watch episode 1 of Islanders coming out this week.